Welcome to another real estate market update brought to you by Stunning Homes Realty. So what we're seeing right now in the market is we're seeing the market cool just a little bit. Now, when I say cool just a little bit, it's still really, really hot. So if you look historically, we never really exceeded 400. We never exceeded 400 in the Crawford Market Index. And at the tail end of last year, we exceeded 400 and we peaked actually to 500 in March, meaning there's about 5 buyers for every seller. We're starting to slow down. Instead of having 5, we now have 4.65 buyers for every seller. So pretty much it's an insanely hot market. So it might feel like it's slowing down, but really it's still really hot and intense. The only good news for buyers right now is that it's slowed down just a tick. And we're seeing the active listing counts actually about even. So when I printed this, we were at 4,600 active listings, but in the beginning of the month, we were actually at 4,000. So I'll touch on that in a second. The craziest statistic of everything I saw when we were going over the report actually was the annual appreciation based off the monthly average price per square foot. Now, Michael Orr predicted at some point this year, we're going to have a year over year in one of the months of a 30% appreciation. And everyone said he was crazy. How could we possibly appreciate 30% in 1 year? Well, in the beginning of this month, we actually hit 36% appreciation year over year. So 300,000 last year is now 400,000. Crazy imagine to think about. So in the last year, we never exceeded 20% in a year over year number. And last month, we hit 36%. So what does this all mean? In the beginning of the month, we were at 5,000 active listings. This is compared to 14,000 this time last year, which is down 64%. But that number has an asterisk because this is around this time last year was when COVID started feeling real. So we had that little bump increase in supply, and then we went right back down to normal. But we were up 24% month over month. So the beginning of March, we were at 4,000 active listings. Beginning of this month, we're at 5,000. So about a 25% jump. Now, if you look at under contract listings, this is including all the properties that are pending, all the contracts that are accepting backup, and the contracts that are contingent upon the buyer selling. And so this is at 12,000 versus 9,500 last year. So we're up 28% year over year, but we're down 3% from the previous month, which was at 12,575. Monthly total sales were at 10,172 versus 7,174 last year. So we're up 42%, but down 2.2% from 10,396 last month. And again, that number has an asterisk because of COVID this time last year. And I'd say COVID doesn't exist anymore, but we were all freaking out beginning of April last year. And then monthly average sales price per square foot, $243.50. That is up 32.41% versus 184 last year. So, and the craziest number is up 5.1% from last month. So we were at $232 per square foot last month. We're now $243. 5% in 1 month. Obviously, that's unsustainable. That would be a 60% year over year. But I have never seen this. And you might think, oh, then this is obviously the sign of a bubble. Where else are people going? So we see no reason for this number to take a big crash. We're going to continue to see these absurd numbers. Not 5% month over month, but maybe a continuation of the 20 to 30% year over year for the rest of this year. Monthly median sales price, $373,000. This time last year, we had just hit $300,000. So we're up 24% year over year. And remember, every single month we've been doing this, it's been a new record high. So last month, it was a new record high at $358,000. This month, it's up 4% to $373,000. So market's continuing to go crazy. So these numbers are the most interesting we've seen for a long time. They show a very hot market with supply dramatically mismatched to demand, obviously, as we've talked about with the Crawford Index. And we are seeing a cooling trend, but the cooling trend we're talking about here is not very much. Nothing that's going to be noticeable for buyers or sellers in today's market. Active listings are up significantly. Under contracts are down a little bit, and sales counts are down a little bit as well. markets can't get hotter indefinitely. We know this. And so the primary mechanism for which price market cools down is pricing, which with the crazy appreciation we have right now, we're pricing people out of the market. In fact, with the jobs report on Monday and the inflation report yesterday, we're going to see interest rates probably go up just a little bit. And every little bit it goes up, it cuts people buying power. So the downward pressure we're going to have is really going to be, or what's going to cool the market down really is the down pressure from fewer people being able to buy. But it's still going to be a crazy hot market. So the faster pricing goes up, the more buyers tend to drop out. 12 months ago, we're in early stages of COVID, again, like I said earlier, so we really can't compare apples to apples for the month of April, and maybe not even for the month of May, but come June, things will be back to, the statistics will be meaningful again. So all the changes tend to start small and then grow. So the current market cooling is just like that. We have supply increasing and demand falling. So remember, a normal market is 30,000 active listings. Maybe we'll finally get to something close to normal. We'll see. But in normal market, prices continue to rise, and that's where we're at right now. We would see, if things continue the way they were, which they won't, we would see a median price of 500,000 by the end of the year, and obviously that's not possible. So who knows where this will end, but it's obviously going to exceed 400,000. So even though we entered a cooling phase, it'll probably take several quarters, if not years, for it to cool down and prices to be normal for the market. So all in all, statistically, we understand what that means. What does it mean to you? Well, you need to make sure you've got a good agent that's helping you, that's well-versed, able to navigate these really unprecedented times. So make sure you got a good agent. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a friend and family member that's in the business, but they might be having a really hard time right now. If that's who you're relying on, if you need help, Stunning Homes Realty, Steve Trang, we're here, happy to serve.